Spoken Portuguese sounds nothing like written Portuguese, and nobody warned you. So your brain is fishing for words it knows on paper, but which sound completely different when spoken. I've got 7 sentence pairs for you today, each one targeting specific sounds that trip up even learners who've been trying to make sense of spoken Portuguese for years. And after each one, I'll show you exactly where your ears got fooled and why. Okay, let's start with a love declaration, or are we? Listen to sentence number 1. I'll repeat the same sentence twice, okay? Vou amar-te para sempre. Vou amar-te para sempre. I said vou amar-te para sempre. These 2 sentences are confusing, but actually they sound exactly the same. There is a grammatical mistake in one of them, but first let's look at the sounds. A very tricky thing, sound-wise, is the pronoun te. These small add-ons to verbs tend to be hard to spot in speech because we don't pronounce e's at the end of words, so the t sounds like the end of the verb itself. One thing that could have told you the second sentence was a bit off is the fact that it reads as I'm going to Mars forever. But we'd need the preposition para, not here, since it's forever. This mix-up actually happened between a mother and child. It was hilarious. Here's sentence number 2. Which one am I saying? Tenho 2 quilos. Tenho 2 quilos. I said tenho 2 quilos. Once again, the sentences sound exactly the same because we don't pronounce the E in quilos. Have you noticed that up until now I've been saying the most useful sentences? I mean, it's a lot better for you to be able to hear 2 quilos than 2 quilos, right? Oops, I just gave you an extra way to pronounce 2 squirrels. Let's move on before I get into too much detail. Sentence number 3. Can you hear which one I'm saying? Ele nem senta. Ele nem senta. I said, ele nem se senta, which means he doesn't even sit down. It's different from ele tem 60. Ele nem se senta, ele tem 60. If nothing better comes out of this pair, at least it's a reminder of a bigger number, which I know is easy to mix up with 60, 60. I won't even say the other one, so you don't get confused. Here's the thing. Tem is a word you probably know. Nem is not. And when you're listening, you'll naturally fish for what you recognize, which means nem disappears completely. Not to mention it sounds very different from tem. Tem, nem. Tem, nem. It's common and understandable to assume, to fish out for words you do know, but there are times when it's fun to just let go of words and try to hear the sounds, since that's what spoken language is all about. A bunch of sounds uttered, vibration that reaches our ears and which we then translate into meaning. Written language is something entirely different. Now, sentence number 4 is a good example of a common struggle. Listen out. Lava a cara. Lava a cara. So many people mix up a closed a, for a mute e, Lava ends with a clear a. You can hear it. Lave ends with an e we barely pronounce, so it almost disappears. But that's not all. You have an a following lava, which makes it crystal clear the verb ends with an a. Do you know why? I call this words that marry. Lava becomes lava. Okay, enough with the explanations. The sentence I said was lava cara. If all these rules I'm bringing up sound confusing, check out my free No Cinderella pronunciation guide in the link below to have a basic overview of how the Portuguese speak. 3 more sentences to go. Sentence number 5. Começou a haver problemas em todo lado. Começou a haver problemas em todo lado. I said the bottom sentence. Let's see why these may have been confusing. They do sound almost the same. Começou a haver problemas em todo lado. Começou a haver problemas em todo lado. The top sentence has the verb to see, while the bottom one uses the verb haver, which means there is or there are. Since we don't pronounce the H, the difference is almost nothing. You have to rely on context. Is someone seeing problems everywhere, or are there problems everywhere? That's what tells you which one it is. But this is an important detail. We just looked at what happens when two A's standing next to each other in a sentence do. They marry, and they become stronger and louder as a result. Listen again. Começou a haver. Now, sentence number 6 is an important one. Have you ever got confused when hearing dois and doze in Portuguese? Let's listen. São 2 euros. São 2 euros. I would argue the numbers dois and doze are fine if said individually, but the moment you put them in context, they start changing. I said são 2 euros, not são 12 euros. São 2 euros, são 12 euros. A simple sound creeps in. Knowing it can be added in between words is super useful. Really, it's the difference between feeling like a fool because you had a 20-euro coin in your wallet and yet gave a 20-euro bill to pay for 2 coffees. I hope you didn't go to Starbucks in Portugal. Okay, here is sentence number 7. I love this one, and I think your reaction is going to tell you something important about how well tuned your ears are to spoken Portuguese. Let's see. Eu também. Eu também. As I said, this one is a real test to see how trained your ears are to nasal sounds in Portuguese. Actually, not only that, but it shows how much real Portuguese you've been listening to. So for this one, I added a level of complexity. It's not just about distinguishing between também and está bem, but also between eu and ele. Sorry, but I'm going to be a bit cheeky here. I will send you to this video here. The reason being that your ears will only catch up with how we really speak once you put in some focus and some work. This is not supposed to be yet another video you've watched today. I really want you to hear the difference. Can't want it more than you do. Okay, I'm starting to sound like a resentful girlfriend. So tell me, which pair out of the 7 was the hardest? Tell me in the comments.